Does anybody want breakfast? Guys, let's go. I'm leaving for McDonald's in 5 seconds.
Why didn't you start with that?
The Breakfast Stampede Meal. It's only at McDonald's, where there's a meal for every morning.
And nothing says morning like a classic sausage McMuffin with egg. Right now, get this all-time favorite for just $2 on the $1, $2, $3 menu. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Episode 618 of No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, the head coach for JobSearch.Coaching HQ.com and NoBSCoachingAdvice.com. And welcome. By the way, I'm doing a year's worth of shows about effective interviewing and answering tough interview questions. So if that's something that you think you need help with, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. And if you need advice about other elements of job search, my other show, which is called Job Search Radio, will help you there as well. So subscribe to both. They'll both be very helpful to you in the course of your job search. Now, this is a show where I talk about the answer to one of those obnoxious interview questions. Are you a leader? Are you a follower? And it's not like they want you to say, yeah, I'm a leader. Yeah, that was the answer we were looking for. Or, no, I'm a sheep. I'm a follower. You know, there's more subtlety to it than that. So I hope you find it helpful. Like I said, I hope you subscribe to the show. And I also hope you join me at JobSearch.Coaching HQ.com. I have curated information there that's going to help you find work more quickly. And with that, let's get going. Today I want to talk with you about one of those tough interview questions that really isn't that tough if you prepare. Now the question is, so are you a leader or a follower? Now, I know you're tempted to immediately say, well, I'm a leader. You know, I like to lead and act like a puppy in that regard. But the first thing is you have to remember what the job is that you're interviewing for. What do they want to hear from you? You can speak about being a leader, but you then have to be prepared with a follow-up for the follow-up question that they're going to ask you. It's not like they're going to just stop and hear your answer and say, I'm a leader. They're going to ask you, talk to me about some situations where you've led in your work. And you have to be prepared to talk about a situation and really paint it broadly. So you might talk about a project that you had, or you might talk about how in the office place you may not have the manager's title, but you're the go-to individual for all people who work in your kind of work in the department. You're the resource that everyone goes to, not because you have the job title, but because people see you as a leader. However, if you're a follower, you know, you can take that in lots of different directions. So, for example, you could be interviewing for a staff job where you have no leadership responsibility. But you can talk in terms of, for example, say, you know, being a follower has a connotation to it. Followers basically take orders. They take direction from people. I do that in the course of my work. However, at the same time, you know, in situations where I work with others, you know, I function as a leader for them. See what I'm doing here? I'm basically saying, you know, yeah, I can take direction. I can follow orders. You know, I also can work with my colleagues and be motivational to them. I can also make suggestions to my management about the way things can be done a little bit differently. I understand that it's ultimately their decision, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a follower. But within that context, I'm the leader of followers. See where I'm going to with that? You don't want to come across as just being a clerk. And I'm using clerk as a metaphor for a person who sits at a desk unthinkingly, you know, and I remember doing this as a high school kid, one of my early jobs, unstapling multiple pieces of paper, separating them, then collating them in different orders. Man, that was a terrible job. But as a high school kid, you do whatever you can, especially if it can keep you indoors. So you know, you can be a follower, but you can modify your answer in a way so that it lets them know that you're the leader amongst the people who take direction. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you do, I want to encourage you, come join me at JobSearch.CoachingHQ.com. That's my site with curated information from around the web that I've developed in podcast, video, articles. All my books and guides to job hunting appear on the site, all for one price. And I also want to encourage you, give the show 5 stars in iTunes, please. I have a link in the show notes. It's going to help other people discover the show and help them anymore. So I'll be back tomorrow with more. In the meantime, have a great day. Take care.